I haven't really thought about the internal price tag of just eating poorly over time. Not just weight, I mean, but something like gallstones, lifos.
Right. And there's this common idea, isn't there, that our bodies are like houses we're building.
Yeah, like you can just knock out a wall, remove an organ, say the gallbladder, and it's fine. No big deal structurally.
But that's a really flawed assumption, and that's exactly what we're digging into today. We've gathered quite a bit of research looking at, well, how bile works, gallstones form, and the real impact of gallbladder removal, that's cholecystectomy.
Okay, so what's the mission for us today? What should you, the listener, expect?
Right, it's sort of threefold. First, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the chemistry behind why gallstones actually form. Second, we need to talk about the surgery itself, the specific physical consequences people often, well, overlook.
And third, there's a solution side.
Yes, exactly. We want to outline a specific nutritional strategy, a kind of formula to actually improve bile health. Okay, ready to unpack this?
Let's do it. So, starting right at the source, bile. We know it's crucial for digestion, especially fats. But if we need fats, how does bile become a problem?
That's a great point. It really comes down to the type of fats. See, bile is absolutely vital, and its quality actually gets better when you eat good fats. You know, the mono and polyunsaturated ones.
Okay.
The issue comes from, well, things like saturated fats, trans fats, and just generally poor management of triglycerides. That's what overwhelms the system, makes the bile sluggish, and leads to problems.
So what exactly is bile made of? It's more than just like digestive juice, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually quite complex. It's a mix of water, electrolytes, bilirubin, and this is key, cholesterol.
Ah, cholesterol. So when people get gallstones, they're mostly cholesterol stones, right?
Mhm.
That must mean cholesterol is the bad guy here.
Well, see, that's the twist. People jump to that conclusion, but it's often really misleading. Cholesterol itself isn't inherently bad
How so? We hear so much about lowering cholesterol.
because cholesterol is fundamental. It's vital for almost every cell. I mean, some of our sources describe the brain as being practically pure cholesterol, like a structural gel.
Wow, okay.
The problem isn't the cholesterol itself, it's the body's management of fats, of triglycerides, of the overall diet that goes wrong. You know, we sometimes see people with cholesterol technically over 300.
Which sounds really high.
Right, but they're perfectly healthy otherwise. No meds needed because their whole system, diet, exercise, stress, is well managed. So the focus shouldn't be just on demonizing cholesterol, but on improving that internal management.
That makes a lot more sense. It's about how the body handles it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the gallbladder itself, the vesicle. What's its specific job in this process?
So the normal flow is this.
Okay.
The liver makes the raw bile. Then it sends it down to the gallbladder. Think of it like a storage tank.
Okay, storage.
But it's more than just storage. When you eat something fatty, your stomach sends a signal, and the gallbladder. It releases a very precise, controlled dose of that stored bile right into the duodenum, the first bit of your small intestine.
Precise and controlled. That sounds like the key detail people miss when they say, oh, just take it out, the liver will manage.
That's exactly the double error. First off, while the bile is in the gallbladder, it's not just sitting there. It's being concentrated, preserved, even purified. It gets much more potent.
Concentrated and purified.
Okay. And second, this is clinically huge. The gallbladder allows for that precise dosing. Without it, the liver just it drips bile constantly, uncontrollably into the duodenum.
Constant dripping versus a targeted dose. What does that difference feel like for the person?
It often leads to really harsh and difficult digestions. Think about it, bile hitting the sensitive intestinal lining when it's not needed, or not enough potent bile when a fatty meal arrives.
So immediate symptoms might be.
Digestive upset is common. Things like painful bloating, abdominal distension, because that uncontrolled flow is just irritating.
Right, it goes from being like a well-aimed faucet to a leaky, kind of broken fire hydrant. It explains a lot.
Right.
Now, we should definitely acknowledge sometimes surgery is unavoidable, right?
Yeah.
Emergencies happen.
Absolutely. If there's a blockage, a risk of pancreatitis, severe pain that's life-threatening, surgery becomes necessary, no question.
The necessity has to be weighed.
Critically weighed, yes. But we also really need to look closely at the consequences of the surgery itself, even the modern keyhole surgery, the laparoscopic kind, especially when it's done like, electively, maybe preventively.
Okay, let's get into that. The mechanical side of laparoscopic cholecystectomy. We think about the organ being gone, but what about the entry points?
Yeah.
The structural impact?
So the procedure uses these things called trocars, basically small entry ports. Usually one goes through the umbilical ligament right around the belly button, and maybe two others elsewhere on the torso.
And the umbilical one is a specific concern.
Yes, our sources highlight this. That umbilical ligament, well, that's where you got nourishment in the womb. It's a central anchor point. Trauma there, even from a small incision, can actually disrupt the whole biomechanical support system for the liver and the organs around it.
So it's not just about the gallbladder missing. It's like the internal scaffolding gets disturbed.
Exactly. The liver is wrapped in this capsule, Glisson's capsule. The surgery modifies this, and that affects the visceral ligaments, these bands that kind of tether our organs to our spine and ribs.
Okay, and that disturbance, that's what leads to the strange pains people sometimes report afterwards, isn't it? The referred pain. Like, why would liver area surgery cause neck pain?
Precisely. It's this visceral somatic connection. Those ligaments are linked neurologically to specific parts of the spine and ribs. When they get disturbed or tight or maybe scarred from the surgery,
The brain gets confusing signals.
yeah, the signals get misinterpreted. So instead of feeling pain right there, people often report this postoperative compensation pain radiating elsewhere. Very commonly, it's pain in the upper back, the dorsal spine, the neck, headaches, even shoulder pain or discomfort down the right arm.
Wow.
And sometimes they describe this feeling like something's pulling inside near their ribs. That's a direct reflection of those visceral ligaments being altered.
That's a powerful reminder, isn't it? The body isn't just parts in a box. It's all connected. You can't just tweak the architecture in one place without affecting things elsewhere.
Absolutely. And if we don't address why the stones formed in the first place, which is usually down to diet, triglycerides, and we just remove the organ, well, you're left with potential digestive issues and these complicated structural compensations affecting posture, movement, everything.
Okay, so if surgery has these complexities, we need to focus on preventing the need for it, addressing the chemistry. You mentioned a nutritional approach, something for bile quality and flow, those terms you used, choleretic and cholagogue.
Yes, exactly. We want two things. Choleric effect, which means improving the bile's actual quality and concentration, making it less likely to form sludge or stones, and cholagogue effect, which means improving its flow, its drainage.
Got it. And the star ingredient for this?
According to the nutritional sources we looked at, the core ingredient is the artichoke, called alcachofa or alcasol in some places.
Artichoke. Okay, how do we prepare it to get these benefits? Just eating it normally isn't enough.
The preparation seems key for this specific draining effect. It's not about a quick steam. You actually want to boil about a dozen artichokes, but slowly. Simmer them for maybe 1 to 2 hours until they're really tender.
Long and slow.
Yes, that seems to release the beneficial compounds. Then, importantly, let them cool down completely.
And then there's a dressing. You called it an emulsifier and drainer.
Right, this is the magic formula part. You mix up a dressing in a bowl, get some really high-quality extra virgin olive oil that provides good fats, some apple cider vinegar, the juice of a whole lemon, and just a touch of Himalayan salt.
Olive oil, vinegar, lemon, salt. Sounds simple, but powerful.
It's a combination designed to stimulate that bile release and help emulsify fats effectively.
How should you actually eat this?
2 main ways suggested. Method A is kind of traditional. You pull off the artichoke leaves, dip the fleshy bottom part into that dressing, stir it up first to mix the oil and dissolve the salt, and then you scrape off that soft part with your teeth.
Okay, leaf by leaf.
Method B, you peel the artichoke down to the heart, chop it up, maybe even puree it, and then just pour that whole dressing mixture over the heart. You could serve that as a side dish, maybe with some fish or lean meat.
That sounds pretty tasty, actually. Are there other things you can add to boost this effect? To really help, as you said, clean the biliary pipes?
Definitely. You can enhance this quite a bit by adding other ingredients known to be cholagogues, things that help bile flow. Think turmeric, black pepper, they work well together, ginger, oregano, onion, and garlic. Adding those really helps stimulate flow and improve the whole digestive environment.
Turmeric, pepper, ginger, oregano, onion, garlic. Got it. It sounds like a potent mix. But you made a point earlier, this is a potentiator, right? Not a magic bullet on its own.
Absolutely crucial point. This dietary approach, this recipe, it can help potentiate better function, but it cannot fix everything if the foundations are shaky. If you're living a sedentary life, you're under chronic stress, your sleep is terrible, you barely move, eating artichokes isn't going to solve the underlying problem.
They have to be part of a bigger picture.
Exactly, a holistic strategy. And of course, if you actually suspect you have gallstones, don't just rely on diet changes. You need proper confirmation, an ultrasound, maybe blood tests. See a professional.
So, wrapping this up, our deep dive today really highlights, I think, two things. First, the gallbladder isn't just optional. It has a vital role in chemistry and even physical structure. And second, the power of food as medicine, especially before considering irreversible surgery.
Yeah, the big takeaway is that stone formation lithos, it's a signal, usually a signal of mismanagement, often related to triglycerides and diet. So the question shouldn't just be, can we remove this, but rather, why did this problem happen? And crucially, can we improve the internal environment, the bile quality, the flow, to avoid needing surgery?
And thinking about that referred pain, we discussed the neck, the shoulder, the back pain after surgery, linked to those disturbed ligaments near the liver. It really makes you think differently about our internal structure, doesn't it?
It does.
It leaves us with a really important question, I think. If the body reacts so significantly to disrupting just one small support ligament near the liver, well, what other subtle changes in the position or health of our internal organs might be quietly influencing our posture, our movement, maybe even our overall sense of well-being in ways we don't usually consider?